Shanti, Baba's Sakar Murli, 22nd of June 2022. Essence. Sweet children, the Father is laying the foundation of heaven. You children have to become his helpers and accumulate your share. Follow God's directions and make your reward elevated. Question. What type of children is Bap Dada always on the lookout for? Answer. The Father is always on the lookout for children who are extremely sweet, with cool natures, and who are serviceable. Only serviceable children will glorify the Father's name. To the extent that you become a helper of the Father and are obedient and trustworthy, so you accordingly claim a right to the inheritance. Song. Salutations to Shiva. Om Shanti. Who has explained the meaning of Om? The Father. Since you call him Baba, he must definitely have a name. Whether he is corporeal or incorporeal, he must definitely have a name. Other souls can never be given names. Names are given to bodies when souls become human beings. It is said, salutations to the deity Brahma. Vishnu is also said to be a deity because those who have subtle forms or subtle bodies are also given names. A name is always given to a body. Only the incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is given the name Shiva. Only his soul is given a name. All others are only given names for their bodies. Once a soul sheds a body, the name changes. But God, the Supreme Soul, is only given one name, and that never changes. This proves that he does not enter birth and death. If he were to enter into the cycle of birth and death, he would not be able to liberate others from rebirth. The expression birth and death is not used in the land of immortality because everyone there easily sheds a body and takes the next. The word death is only used here. In the Golden Age, it would not be said that such and such a person has died. The word death implies sorrow. There, having shed an old body, a soul would then take a young body, and they celebrate that in happiness. There are so many humans in the old world. They are all to be finished. It is shown that there were the Yadavas and the Kauravas, and that they were destroyed in the war. So, would the Pandavas have experienced sorrow? No. The kingdom of the Pandavas was established. At present, you are the clan of Brahma, Brahmins, Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. Brahma has so many children, so he must surely be the father of people. Shiva is the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. He alone is called God. You know that we now belong to the clan of God. We are to return with Baba to Baba's home, to the land of Nirvana. Baba has now come. He is also called the bridegroom. However, the accurate relationship with him is that of the father, because brides do not receive an inheritance. Children claim an inheritance, and so it is right to call him father. By forgetting the father, people have become atheists. Krishna's activities are remembered, but those are not significant activities. The divine activities of Krishna are mentioned in the Bhagavad, whereas they should, in fact, be the divine activities of Shiv Baba. Since he is the father, the teacher and the Satguru, there is no question of playful activities in this. Even Sri Krishna does not have such mischievous activity. He is a little child, and little children are always mischievous, and they are loved by everyone. They have made out that Krishna broke a pitcher, but it was not like that. You now see what Shiv Baba's activities are. He teaches you and makes you pure from impure. He says, "On the path of devotion, I fulfill your feelings and desires of devotion, whereas here I teach you. At this time, only those who are my children remember me. They forget everyone else and try to remember the one Father alone. It isn't that I am omnipresent. I remember those who remember me. It is the children who are remembered. There is one main aspect. You have to be courageous when you explain to an important person to make him understand. Everything depends on the Gita. The Gita is sung by the incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, not by a human being. God is also known as Rudra, but Sri Krishna is not called Rudra. The flames of destruction emerge from the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. Many people remember God as the Master. They say that the Master does not have a name. Acha, where is that Master? Is he the Master of the whole world? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is not the Master of the whole world. It is the deities who become the masters of the world. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the Master of Brahmand. Brahmand is the home of the Father, and therefore the home of the children as well. Brahmand is the Father's home, where we souls live as oval-shaped forms. It is not really like that. We souls live there like dots of light. We then come down from Brahmand to play our parts. Souls come down one after another, and the tree continues to grow. Baba is the seed. Should this be called the foundation of the deities or the foundation of the Brahmins? Brahmins sow seeds, and it is the Brahmins who later become deities and rule the kingdom. Shiv Baba is now laying the foundation through us. We are laying the foundation of deityism, that is, of heaven. To whatever extent you become helpers, so you accordingly claim your share. How else could you become part of the Sun dynasty? You are now creating that elevated reward. Each one of you creates your reward with your own efforts. In order to create your reward, you have to perform good actions. They give donations and perform charity, and also build pilgrim rest houses in God's name, because it is He who gives the fruit of all of that. You are now making effort on the basis of Srimad, whereas all the rest of the world make effort on the basis of human directions. Those are devilish instructions. After godly directions, deity directions come, and then devilish directions. You children now receive godly directions. Mama and Baba become elevated through his directions. No human being can be as elevated as a deity. Who makes the deities so elevated? No one here is elevated. Shri is only the one. He alone is the most elevated father, teacher, and guru. He is the one who creates Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan. Rama and Sita are also called Sri Rama and Sri Sita. But after their title, Moon Dynasty warriors is added. Lakshmi and Narayan are 16 celestial degrees full. They belong to the Sun Dynasty. Their clan is the deity clan, whereas Rama and Sita are 14 celestial degrees. They belong to the Moon Dynasty, and so they are 2 degrees less. However, this is inevitable. People do not know how the world goes into the stage of descent. It comes down from 16 celestial degrees to 14, and so it becomes degraded. At this time, it is totally degraded. This is the community of Ravan. This is the kingdom of Ravan. The dictates of Ravan are called devilish directions. Everyone is impure. There cannot be anyone pure in this impure world. The residents of Bharat were pure, and they have now become impure. I come and purify them once again. Krishna is not remembered as the purifier, and so there is no question of his activity being remembered. Only the one Supreme Soul is called the purifier. At the end, everyone will say, "O God, your instructions and destination are unique. No one else knows of your creation. However, you have now come to understand it. This knowledge is absolutely new." When something new emerges, it is very rare, but it later increases. So, to begin with, you too were only in one corner, but expansion will now take place in one country after another, and the kingdom will definitely be established. The main aspect to be proved is that Sri Krishna is not the God of the Gita. The inheritance is given by the father, not by Sri Krishna. Lakshmi and Narayan would only give an inheritance to their own children, and that would be the reward of the efforts they made now. There is the unlimited inheritance of the golden and silver ages. People celebrate golden and silver jubilees. Here they just celebrate for one day, whereas we celebrate the golden jubilee for 1,250 years. We celebrate in happiness and become full of treasures. So, there is this internal happiness. It isn't that there is external decorations with lights, etc. In heaven, we are very prosperous and very happy. No one is as happy as those who belong to the deity religion. People do not fully understand this silver jubilee, etc. You are now claiming the inheritance from the Father in order to celebrate jubilees for half the cycle. So, you have to understand this main aspect. Shiva is the god of the Gita. He is the one who taught Raja Yoga, and so he is now teaching it once again. He teaches this when the kingdoms no longer exist. People now rule over people, and they don't take long to take away one another's titles. By following his directions, you children will become the masters of the land of happiness. There are many who are not able to imbibe knowledge fully, but who continue to go to a centre. They have the desire in their hearts to have a child. There is the temptation of Maya for them to get married and have the happiness of having a child. However, there is no guarantee that the child will give happiness. If their child dies after 2 or 4 years, they experience even more sorrow. Today they celebrate, but tomorrow, when it is put on the pyre, they weep and wail. This is the land of sorrow. Just look at what kind of food they eat. This is why the Father explains, children, do not have such desires. Maya will bring you many storms. She will instantly make you indulge in vice, and you will then feel too ashamed to come here. Everyone would say that you have defamed the family. Then what inheritance would you claim? You say Mama and Baba, so the Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris are brothers and sisters. If you then indulge in vice, you defame the family. Therefore, as well as you destroying your status, you will have 100-fold punishment. Some indulge in vice but do not tell Baba, and so they will experience a lot of punishment. Baba, Dharamraj, does not let go of anyone. People in the world are sent to jail as punishment, but for people here, the punishment is even more severe. Many such people go to a centre. The Father explains, do not perform such actions. To indulge in vice after calling yourself a godly child means to destroy all truth in yourself completely. If you make any mistakes, tell the Father instantly. If you cannot stop indulging in vice, it is better if you do not come here, otherwise the atmosphere becomes spoiled. If a stork or someone who eats impure food sits among you, it is very bad. The Father says, those who bring such people here are to be blamed. There are many such spiritual gatherings in the world. They can go and perform devotion there. We do not object to your doing devotion. God comes to make you pure and to give you the inheritance of the pure world of paradise. The Father says, simply remember the Father and the inheritance. That is all. He also gives you tactics on how to take precautions with your diet. You can take precautions by adopting various tactics. My health is not good. The doctor has told me not to eat this. or Acha, since you are offering, I will accept some fruit. It is all right to protect yourself in this way. Baba does not object to it. Baba is on the lookout for such children who are very sweet and whose old natures do not remain. Become serviceable, obedient, and trustworthy. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long-lost and now-found children. Love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for Dharna. 1. There is sorrow in everything in this world of Maya. Therefore, do not have any desires connected with this old world. Even if storms of Maya come, never defame the family. 2. Take precautions with your diet. Be very tactful when you go to a party, etc. Blessing. May you be an embodiment of experience who doesn't see anything bad in anything, but who learns the lesson of taking something good from it. Even if something is totally bad, there will definitely be one or other good within it. Everything has the goodness of teaching you a lesson merged within it, because everything is instrumental in making you experienced. It teaches you the lesson of patience. Someone may be forceful, and so, at that time, you would be learning the lesson of patience or tolerance. This is why it is said, whatever is happening is good, and whatever is to happen will be even better. You simply need to have an intellect to take the goodness from it. Do not see anything bad, but take the goodness and you will become number one. Slogan. In order to become constantly happy, transform anything bad into good with the power of silence. Om Shanti.